Hi there. I'm just catching up with my account of my journeys through Poland, and I think the last time I spoke to you I was just arriving in Pruszków, which is to the southwest of Warsaw, and I've just been having such a lovely time here. As you can see, the weather has not stopped being sunny every day, and it was even beautiful enough today, which is November the 1st today, All Saints' Day, for there to be a butterfly flying around the kitchen. Just an incredible kiss from God for today. So I've done lots of things over this time, staying here at Michał Agnieszka's with Johnny, Mickey and Gabrisha, who are part of their household, their children, and we just had a great time together. So I spent some time on the first day I was here. On Wednesday I was with Jacek and Monica, and particularly with Jacek we visited the Transport Museum in Warsaw. I didn't even know there was a transport museum at the old Warszawa Główna station in the centre of the city, and there were just these lovely old locomotives and coaches and carriages. So you can imagine I had a whale of a time there. Jacek patiently walked around with me and we were just looking at the different exhibits there. We went for a lovely walk and went back to their place for a meal later, and it was just lovely to see their children. And then also here, I've been at a great meeting. I kind of snuck into the young people's gathering in a local government building, local government hall, in a place called Michałowice, and they were having a silent disco. I didn't stay around for the silent disco, but I was there for the worship time they had at the beginning. And it was really wonderful just being able to be part of this time where young people were just singing out, giving themselves to God, and one of the women there were just declaring clearly that people needed to know Jesus, and there was an invitation to come to an Alpha course. It was a really lovely thing to be able to do. And then on Friday evening when I was here, we had a Shabbat evening, we had a Sabbath evening, and that's something that they like to do here, just to be together as a family. There's something wonderful about the God's plan for the Sabbath, that it starts with a meal, it starts with family time, and there was the family plus friends around. It was just a beautiful evening to be together. So that was on Saturday. On Sunday we went to the Mass, and also Saturday evening actually we had a gathering here in the house where folks were coming. I shared a little bit about holiness, about the Hebrew word kadosh. We had a worship time again, which was just really special, really lovely, and it's just been amazing to be part of the family and of the community here in Dom Strzeniówka. And then yesterday we had a special visit, something very special to me. After lunch in Warsaw, we went to the Polin Museum, which is the Museum of the Jewish Heritage, the Jews of Poland. I've been before, but I wanted to go again to really drink in some more of the facts and the atmosphere. And there are some beautiful things in there. There's a great plan of the city of Krakow, which, having been there and having had my tour round with Severin earlier in the week, to actually see the plan laid out of it and to read some of the facts and some of the comments was very wonderful, very moving. And then they also have an amazing reconstruction of a synagogue from the Ukraine, which is there, beautifully decorated. And it took me a while, but I managed to read some of the Hebrew inscriptions around the walls. And then also there was a wonderful, I love the diorama they have there. It's kind of a cross between an animation and a film of a yeshiva, a Jewish study house, a Jewish university from Poland of years gone by. And just the animation, I say by animation, I mean the engagement of the rabbi and the students as they're studying. It just really touched my heart. And then, of course, the exhibition finishes towards the end in the dark, dark past, the not distant past of the terrible tragedy, the terrible horror of the Holocaust. And one thing that really hit me, one thing I hadn't realized would hit me so much, I read some of the Yiddish inscriptions. Now, Yiddish is written in Hebrew script, so it's Hebrew letters, but it's actually a European language, so it has links to German. It's a Germanic language with Hebrew words woven in. But it was amazing, because I understand some German. I was reading these inscriptions or reading these words in Hebrew script, but with German sounds, as it were. And it was powerful to realize that this was a language that was spoken in Poland, in Germany, really throughout, and even when Jews moved to London, in London. And here was a language that was almost wiped out with the Holocaust and with the horrors of the death camps. And then moving on to the post-war years and the last part of the exhibition, there was restored Hebrew, actual Hebrew, biblical Hebrew or modern Hebrew was there. And so I was reading with the Hebrew script, but this time reading again Hebrew letters. As someone who loves Hebrew, who loves reading Hebrew, that really touched me and really spoke to me about what's happening now, about the new hope for the Jewish people and for the re-establishment of the land of Israel. So I had a wonderful time there, got back, and last night was very strange. We had a nice relaxing evening. Last night was strange because I was watching a French film of Asterix and Obelix in Britain. So it was dubbed into Polish, but the Polish was with English words and English accents. It was quite a wonderful mixture, a strange mixture. Johnny fortunately was able to be my subtitles for me, and I really enjoyed watching that. We had a lovely relaxing evening together as a family. Today, of course, is All Saints. It's a holiday in Poland, and so there's a visit. People will be visiting the cemeteries and going to visit the places where their families were buried. But there's one thing that has really hit me today about All Saints, because, you know, yesterday is Halloween, and people get so caught up on the fear and the frightening nature of it and scaring people and death. But, you know, All Saints is such a wonderful festival, because what All Saints says is that death doesn't have the final say. Death doesn't have the last word. The old pagan festival of Samhain, hopeless, no hope in it. There's no hope of future. It's sort of all about death and dying. But the festival of All Saints has in it that hope of resurrection. So when people are going here, I'll be going later with them to visit the cemeteries and just to pay respects at family graves. It's with a recognition that there will be a resurrection. There will be a day when we overcome death, because Jesus has overcome death. And that's the exciting thing about today. And so as there's this beautiful sunshine, this beautiful day, it's actually a celebration of life, that life is without limit when we walk it with Jesus. So may you have a really good Dzień Wszystkich Świętych in Polish. May you have a good All Saints Day. And I'll give you another catch up in due course. Have a good day.